give me fire, give me that one to the side.
All right, welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV. Tonight, it's the East Coast Web Printers Gen 6 series here at the Rock. I'm Dean Doucette. He's Adam Nitton, the Bulldog. Adam Rockingham here this evening.
Yeah, it should be a good, entertaining race. Cars look like they're a lot of fun to drive. I ran a couple laps. They're fast, and gotta watch them tires.
Well, you do, and you know a little bit about it. I mean, you won the race on Sunday night Xfinity car. Tell us a little bit about getting around this place, Adam.
Patience. Do not overdrive your car, and be one with the bumps. Especially with the set tonight, it seems to bottom out a little bit, but if you can manage the bumps, have some patience, take your time, hit your marks, you should have a good finish.
As we look in on Reiner here, he's going to have to do those things and do them well. He was in a battle with you last time. And, of course, we got Jason Jackson. Right now we're looking at Michael Walker, but Jason Jackson, the points leader. Adam, maybe give us a little rundown on the points situation here. There's some interesting battles.
Yeah, they are. You have Jason Jackson, Reiner, and Darren Bruce all right there in a tight battle for the top spot. You know, if one mistake from Jackson could give this right into Reiner and Bruce's hands. And then you have the George Lill battle, and you got Lance that isn't here, but you got Tony Ratliff, Rachel Hunt, and Paul Cade. They're 7-point spread right there. And, you know, that's really obtainable, especially in a track like this. You know, no incidents. Have a good clean race, you can make that up real quick. And then we got a couple of other battles throughout the field with Jason Brantley, Paul K. Travis, Tom Ashley, which he qualified real good tonight, and Jason Spear and Todd Gilly are fighting for a top 10 spot. But yeah, you know, anything goes. Gotta have a clean race, and they can, you know, because there's only 2 more races left in the season, Dean.
Yeah, and you know, Adam, like, these spots matter to these guys. I mean, we hang out in a room. If I close in the last 2 races and finish, say, 6th and you're 7th, you're going to hear about it, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. And if you remember, I dealt with that running against Bryce for the truck, my second truck championship in this league. It was a 21-point gap coming down to the last race. And I happened to win that race and spread the gap more. And then I had a bad race the next race, but that is what won me the championship. But you got to have that luck and that consistency to bring home the title.
Well, you really do. Every race matters here. These guys gearing up for this one. We look in on Brantley there, one of our title sponsor cars out here. Beautiful looking car. Paints are always something to talk about, aren't they, Adam?
Well, man, I was looking at some of the cars through the field. I see that Tony Ratliff got a refresh, and I like Bryce Rauner's car, and I see that Claus Williams is in a different paint scheme, but I'm going to tell you, you know where my favorite car is in this race, I think.
Well, we'll look in on him right now. That would be the 90, but no, he's in a different paint here this evening.
Yes, he's got that Skull Bandit paint, and that is a sharp-looking car.
I mean, he seems to be your favorite no matter what he's running. You love that blue car that he has, all toned up, and now the Skull Bandit. Watch out for him this evening.
Yeah, I don't know who does his paints, but they are some daggone good paint jobs.
Absolutely, they are. Everybody beginning to grit up. Let's get into tonight's starting grid. It's going to be Paul Travis Sr., the number 88, with a time of 24.087. He starts on the pole. Jason Brantley will start on the outside of row number 1. Bruce will start third with Tom Ashley in 4th. Yeah, Greg Ratliff and Claus Williams in row number 3. Tony Ratliff and Rick Thompson will start in row 4. Row 5, it's the Toad Man, Todd Gilly, with our points leader, Jason Jackson. Rachel Hunt will start 11th, and it looks like she might be starting on pit road, actually. Royce Valley will be in 12th. And then you got Spear, Herb Ashley, Kulikowski, Bryce Reiner, Ricky Williams, Walker II, Dibble, Fleming, and like I said, I think Hunt on pit road right now.
Actually, I have her on the track right now. She's in a pink paint scheme right now.
I have her sitting on pit road in her stall here, Adam.
Yeah, that keeps blinking in and out. I don't know if she's having some connections issues or not.
All right, well, we'll see what happens with that. Tough track out here. The Rock, anything can happen. Jackson, your points leader, starts back in 9th. He's got to finish here. Any kind of decent finish, and, you know, he's in really good shape. He wrecks out, that all flips. Pace car off the track. Travis and Brantley take the green, and we're racing here at RGR in Rockingham.
Yeah, so far so good, Dean. It looks like we got a pretty good start. They didn't get too loose on that entry into 1.
Yeah, cars will be hooked up here, I think, for a while. What about this Gen 6 car? You think they'll stay hooked up?
What I noticed was on the exit of 4, if you put down the gas too hard, it did get a little squirrely. It took about 10 laps for the car to really get into the track.
All right, couple guys. Claus Williams up high. Rick Thompson down low. Rick's had quite a debut around here the last couple of races. He got himself a second place, I believe, almost a victory. So Rick looks
he was
good.
running before the wreck happened in Michigan. He was in the running for a podium finish or the win at that moment, but he got collected in the aftermath off of turn 4 with some other drivers.
Now out front, Paul Travis Sr. in the 88. We've seen this on Sunday, Adam. He's got speed, but he goes out there and he just tears it up out here. This is quite a strategy. I mean, he faded during that run. He faded quite a bit. I think he says, I don't care. I enjoy racing fast, and I'm going fast.
Yeah, if I could calm him down 1 notch, he would be a lot better on the long run. But yeah, he's got a ton of speed and a good-looking race car right now. But that clean air is going to be real important for the most part. But you see, Darren is running very similar to what he did on Sunday night.
Well, Darren had a good race until he didn't, right? That wall will bite you. Talk to him about it, Adam. This track demands your full attention. You blink, you grab a drink, you lose your focus, you're in the wall, aren't you?
Yeah, and I just watched George Dibble do that exact thing coming off turn 2. And that ball will bite you and bite you quickly.
Absolutely will. 175 laps around the Rock here tonight. Going to be a treacherous one for these guys.
Yeah, and the big thing is the guys that go up searching for that high line, they're going to regret it right now at the moment. You could do the high line in 1 and 2, but not in 3 and 4 just yet. You need to keep your car glued on the bottom, at least for the first 30, 40 laps of the run.
Now, is that a tire wear issue or a fact that there's no rubber up there yet?
Both. I like to keep the car neutral and try to keep the temperatures as low as possible throughout the first part of the run. That way, if I do need to move up to get the latter part of the speed, I have the tire to do it.
Right now, Bruce closing in, and he is down there. I would almost venture to say, Adam, that you coached him a little bit around this track.
I did, and he learned a lot from my driving style, and it looks like he's putting it to good use right now.
Well, let's go on board with him here, Adam, and maybe you can tell us what you see. Like, I mean, it's really early. You got a lot of grip here, but it looks to me like he's doing that like little mini diamond, almost like a Dover.
Absolutely, and that's the way that I love to drive this track. You're not driving it in deep at all. You're backing the corner up, doing the mini diamond, but you want that straight off exit. That way you can get the car right back up on the wall to get ready to do the same thing going into 3. Because if you push it too hard going into 3, there's a bump right after that line, and it'll push the car up the hill.
Well, what am I noticing too? A lot of sparks. We've seen this pretty standard here in these fixed setups. What does that indicate here tonight?
Right now, for me, I noticed that the car was dragging a little bit until the temperatures got up after 20, 30 laps. And you could see right then, Paul was trying to get on the gas out of Darren's windshield, and it got loose. And till those tire pressures come up, you really can't drive that car that deep in there.
Absolutely. He's going to fight it a little bit here early on. He maintains the lead. Bruce closing. Brantley starting to make headway. Here comes Tom Ashley. You got Greg Ratliff right there. Not a lot of movement except for one driver. Can you guess who that might be, Adam?
Batman himself. He's coming. Better get that music queued up.
That's it. Someone put the bat light out. He's on his way. So Reiner doing Reiner things here. Up 6 spots. No easy feat here at Rockingham. Tough to pass. So Reiner fast early on. And there's our points leader right in front of him, Jason Jackson. So that's your points battle. Every spot ahead of Jackson that Reiner can get, I mean, he needs them all, doesn't he?
Absolutely. He needs them all, a clean finish, and get that point for leading the lap, which at some point we know he'll get up there, but yes, he definitely needs a clean race. But I applaud him for starting in the back to try to get that extra point for the most positions passed, too.
Well, I mean, I think he did attempt at qualifying, so I'm not sure he purposely was back there, but yeah. I mean, it's a worthy point to go after, I suppose.
And when you're this tight for that battle for the championship, you got to have those points. Every point counts.
Absolutely, they do. And they count all year. That's what we try and preach on here, Adam. I mean, some guys let those first couple of races go by and give up a few points. Boy, oh boy, you'd love to have them now, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. No doubt on that.
Pretty status quo right now. Travis leading, Bruce chasing, everybody in line. And, you know, when do you think cars start to move around here? I mean, it's almost like a short track. It's an in-between track, I guess I would say.
It is. You have to drive it. And there is some similarities to Dover on the way you have to prepare yourself on the entry, especially in 1 and 2. I compare that very similar to 1 at Dover, you know, especially when you go off of that little dip. But, yeah, you have to drive very defensively and offensively here.
Back up front, Travis still leading. And the one thing I'm noticing, though, I'm not seeing these cars bounce quite as much as the Xfinity cars.
Yeah, and I think that's due to the way that the nose is. This car's got more downforce than the Xfinity car. Kind of drives a little bit like the truck, and that's why I was kind of liking the vibe that I was getting out of the car when I ran those couple laps.
I bet you were. The Bulldog himself, folks. I bet if he was out there, he'd be fighting for this race win. He graces us with his presence here in the booth, and we love it. Here goes Greg Ratliff making a move on Brantley. So Ratliff in the 5, down low, Brantley up high. And it looks like, I love that line that Greg just ran.
Yeah, he carried a lot of speed off the corner. And I've been watching him and I've been watching Thompson. They've both been doing similar things. And they got around Ashley, which Ashley's starting to fade a little bit. And I think that's because it looks like he's not really liking the entry line as much as the other guys.
Well, could he be like holding back a little bit? I mean, it's a long run out here, Adam.
Yeah, I thought about that, but just gauging off of where his let-off points are, I think he may be trying to save a little bit of tire, but I think it's not to his liking just yet.
All right, well, we'll see how that all plays out. Right now, Travis still out front. He did this. Oh no, he's into the wall. Down the track, he chases it. He holds on. That's a great recovery, but Bruce slides by, new race leader.
Yeah, it almost reminiscent of what happened on Sunday night, Dean.
Oh my goodness, yes, you see that, and that wall really catches people, Adam.
Yeah, it looks like that he's starting to get tight, and I think he might have burned up his tires a little bit. And he's got to take his time, regroup. I think if he regroups, he'll be fine. Got to calm them tires down. He got them a little bit angry.
Yeah, he's got a fresh paint scheme on there, so I heard over the radio they're saying, don't scratch this thing up.
Oh yeah, I'm digging that scheme tonight. That looks sharp.
Yeah, it's a nice one for sure. So Bruce, Travis, Ratliff, Brantley, Thompson, your top five. Then you got Ashley, Williams, Reiner, and he is passing Williams right now. That's for seventh. And then you got Tony Ratliff and Jason Jackson. So Reiner continues his march. He's up 9 spots here this evening.
Yeah, I've been watching Toad, man. He's been consistently moving up and down the track, and it looks like he's got some pretty good speed. He's been caught these guys and should be pretty racy here very soon.
Yeah, the Toad Man's been doing good. I mean, he reminds me a bit of myself. He'll get out here and he'll look real good for a while, and perhaps, focus over a, hour and a half stretch. It could be an issue. I know it is for me, Adam.
Yeah, I mean, and you need all of your focus at this track constantly, especially when you're coming up for pit stops. I mean, that's going to be, this place is notorious for giving somebody a speeding penalty. It's really easy to misjudge getting on this pit road.
Greg Ratliff into second as he gets by Paul Travis. We talked to Darren Bruce earlier, Adam, and he talked a little bit about the focus. He had a little bit of a wreck on Sunday night. He was running very well, and he talked about it. He said, I lost my focus for like one corner, and that's all it took, Adam.
Yeah, and what I'm noticing, the line that I was talking about for the later on in the run, Greg is now running it now, and then you see he is catching Darren inch by inch.
Is it too early though, Adam?
In my opinion, yeah, I wouldn't have done it just yet. And we see that Ricky Williams just came on the pit road. Yeah, I think it's a little early to run that line just yet.
Well, we talked to you about that last week or on Sunday, and you said you were holding on to it. You were like keeping it in the bag, almost didn't want to show it because you didn't want to show anybody behind you that line. And is that the kind of caginess maybe Darren Bruce is employing right now?
Absolutely, because if the lead car can run the bottom and still be efficient, you can save your tires just a little bit more. But you see Greg's going to have a monster run on Darren right now, and Darren's just going to probably let him by. But if you dictate it and go on up there, you can block the air on that guy and make him burn his stuff up in no time.
This is one of the first tracks I ever ran when I joined iRacing, Adam, and I thought to myself, I've gotten myself in over my head. I spent a lot of money to get on here, and I'm not sure I can do this.
It was, and that's funny that you said that. When I got my iRacing, this was my first race in FDSR. And felt like I was fed to the wolves, but I had a great finish. Never been on iRacing, got a top 15, so I was proud in that lead.
I just remember being completely dumbfounded. We're going to go on board with Bruce right now because he's starting to fade. Travis has gotten back around him. I love to see this from Travis. And there, we're back on board with Bruce now. Now, what is happening here? Is he just letting these guys go? I mean, he already passed Travis.
Yeah, he's letting them go right now. It seems like I'm riding in 2 or 3 different cars, and everybody's using different points. And I think that some guys are letting the cars come to them, and some guys are just kind of burning it up.
I just think there's something else going on. I think tonight at this track, we may be giving Bruce a little too much credit here. He seems to be fading here. Maybe he burned him up.
Yeah, I rode with him for a couple laps, and it didn't seem like he was driving it in as hard.
Very interesting here. Brantley closing in on Bruce as well. That's for third. Don't look now. In fifth, Bryce Reiner up 11 spots. I mean, who is going to stop this guy here tonight? The Bulldog's in the booth.
I think he's going to have a pretty easy way to get to victory lane if nobody can stop us climbing through the field.
So you're saying Bulldog trumps Batman? Is that the kryptonite of Batman?
Absolutely.
All right.
Bulldog has got a bat cape.
We'll wait for that movie. I look forward to seeing it.
Yeah, what I've been noticing, and I'm hearing a lot out of the throttle, the cars must have gone really, really super tight. Because what I noticed Bryce is doing is just like Sunday Lightning. He is letting off that gas super early, unlike those guys up front. And you see he just keeps marching forward.
Yeah, that's one of the big keys here on iRacing, letting that car roll. But we got to give the big dog his credit here. We got the Bulldog here, but he's the big dog. He's out front. How about this? Good to see the 5 out front, isn't it, Adam?
It is. It's been a while since he's been leading laps and whatnot. It's good to see the old dog up front.
Got himself a real nice paint there, part of that Regal paint shop.
Yeah, it's a sharp-looking car.
Travis right there, and I'm very happy for Travis. You know, we've seen him fade, like I said, on Sunday. We thought we were going to see it here when he started to go back, but now, coming back forward, the 88, lap 39 of 175. I like what I'm seeing here tonight.
Yeah, and I'm noticing some of the other guys that were taking their time, they're starting to crawl back into this as well. And I think you have to do like the old before they did the repave. You have to kind of drive it down the hill. And that's what I'm seeing out of this particular set. Because there wasn't one for this car. Someone had to build one, but that's what I'm starting to see these guys doing.
How about the Rifleman? He's starting to edge back up. I think he faded on the start a bit. Started 7th, is in 7th, but I think he dropped a bit. Now he's moved up a bit. The Rifleman looks racy.
Yes, he is, and I love that paint scheme. And I see that Tom Ashley he's in 9th place, and he's kind of keeping pace with Claus Williams right now. But yeah, Tony's doing real good tonight.
Take a look in on Rachel Hunt back here in 14th. I think she started on pit road. She might have made the grid. I'm not sure. She must have. And now moving ahead of Herb Ashley there. Kulikowski a little off the pace. And now Fleming on pit road. We've already had Valley, Walker the second, and Ricky Williams. They're all in the pits. I think they've retired from the race here tonight.
Well, I think Fleming is maybe playing a little bit of strategy. He hit the wall just slightly, but not too bad. He's getting 4 new good years, and he's going to come out there and feel good for a bunch of laps.
All right, lap 44. He's down and away. Good battle brewing up front. Ratliff and Travis. Bruce hanging in there in third with Brantley and Reiner closing. Reiner ran a 25.84. Travis was an 8.5, so he was Travis looking really good.
Yeah, Travis is trying to follow that line right there, and we got some lap cars coming up in front of Big Dog. Hopefully, you can get around them pretty quickly and keep making hay right now.
Yeah, this is where it gets tough. That's Kulikowski there in 16th place, about to go a lap down. Ooh, and taking the high side, always risky on corner exit there.
Yeah, it looked like he got a little bit tight off the turn 4 right then.
Interesting race brewing. Nobody getting away here. Top 4 right there together with Reiner coming.
Yeah, I've been watching Bryce really, really closely. He is definitely using up a little bit different exit than they are. He's trying to drive it more down the hill like I was doing on Sunday night, and it's really helping him on the straightaway speeds right now.
Well, he's trying to extend the straightaway, is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, I talked to someone today, Adam, about slip angle. I'm sure you're familiar with it. Me and you have had this conversation trying to fix some of my faults, you know, trying to get that car to rotate a little earlier and get it pointed down there. I mean, it's so important, isn't it?
It is, because it's all about the exit. If you don't have speed coming off the exit, that's where they get you every time.
Absolutely. A lot about momentum and speed down the straightaways. Here comes Reiner down underneath of Brantley. Brantley will probably hold him off, but for how long? Actually, he's going to let him go. So Reiner up to fourth.
That was a good move by Brantley. I mean, he saw him coming. I mean, once you see Batman train coming, that's the only way you can, I mean, you got to reboot, follow his line, maybe short pit him a little bit, and try to jump him a couple seconds and see what you got.
Well, speaking of pitting, here comes Fleming like a rocket through there. And way down the track, that's Darren Bruce down there chasing that machine. Holy cow.
He got loose on exit. He got in the gas too soon.
Reiner goes around. Brantley's going to go around too by the looks of it. So Bruce falls to fifth. Now, when we talk about pitting, fuel mileage and all that, what are we looking at here, Adam?
I would be saying, based off what I saw in the thing, it's going to be a two-stopper for sure. Next 20 laps, they got to be thinking. Because what I was seeing with the tire wear, that would be my thing. I want the tires. Because right now, just seeing the lap times, they have fallen off over 2 seconds from their original lap times.
Well, Fleming last time by basically a 25, Greg Ratliff a 26.1, so only about 1 second, but I'm not sure if Fleming turned his best lap that time around.
Oh, I was talking from the very start of the race.
Here comes Brantley.
He's running 25s, and Greg was running 24s at one night, and Paul K actually ran a 24.1. And see Toadman coming off pit road, if I was those guys and seeing what they're doing, I'd definitely come in for tires.
All right, interesting strategies here. Any chance anybody can make it to halfway here?
It's a possibility.
You're looking at about 87, 88 laps.
Yeah, it's a possibility, but I'd rather have the tires and make up the time.
All right, interesting.
And we had someone try that Sunday night, but he got bit by the caution. Nate Maurer got bit by the caution, but that was what he was trying, and it would have been really interesting to see how that would have planned out. And I'm wondering if anybody is kind of on the fence of trying that.
Well, speaking of the fence, the 88 Travis touches it, Reiner touches it, the wall that is, not quite the fence. You see Reiner up into the wall again. Now, is he
He's
using
pushing the
that
limit.
wall at all? Or is he just, that's just the way it is at Rockingham?
He did that a little bit Sunday night. It actually helps you if you can get up on the cushion right on the wall to get that run down. It's like a little lip right there.
Well, we continue watching here. He smacked it the last 2 times around. Now down to the bottom, but he can't get anything down on the bottom. That car just will not turn.
Yeah, I'm watching Darren right now. Man, he is loose as a goose on throttle. He boat had a moment coming down the backstretch.
And Adam, we see Brantley back on pit road. Is that a penalty for Jason Brantley? I think it must have been.
Yeah, it's speeding, I think.
So really unfortunate there for Brantley. Wow, that's a big one.
Yeah, because he had a great run running in the top 5. Then he hit the wall and he ran through the pit stall.
From bad to worse here. Travis out here trying to hold off Reiner. Greg Ratliff with about a 1 second lead on these guys. Lap 58 of 175, Adam.
Tagged the wall, Dean. He's got a toe up right front real bad.
All right, not good news for Brantley. Big shout out to Jason Brantley, though. We appreciate him here in the booth, part of a sponsorship group there, and we can't do it without the sponsors, can we, Adam?
Absolutely not. That's what makes the world go round.
It does so. And Adam, I've been around Adam quite a bit, and actually a very good sponsor getter, aren't you, Adam?
I try. You have to do your sponsors right. You have to promote them. You have to give them the same care that they give you, and it works, all the way around.
Well,
giving
you're
the
well
Live
known
Church
around.
and East Coast Web Printers all the shout outs. I mean, they do what they can to take care of this league, and it's a good league.
Absolutely it is. I mean, you spend a lot of time around these tracks. I want to ask you, Adam, have you been to Rockingham? And if so, what are some memories here as Rick Thompson comes in?
I have driven here. I have watched Dale Earnhardt clinch his 7th championship here. I watched the last championship clinched there by Matt Kenseth. I watched the last race. We were actually there to see one of our friends from Roxborough flip on the backstretch. But phenomenal track, and we went back when it opened up as well. It is a surprising track, because when you get there and you watch it, you don't think it's real fast till you see how the banking is in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Well, it's a little bigger than what it drives like, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And when you're in the car, you get the feeling of how the actual, even the front stretch has a good bit of banking on it. And at certain aspects, the camera doesn't do it justice, but in the feel of the car, you can feel it. But it's a really unique racetrack.
Jason Jackson, our points leader, on pit road right now, coming off a pit road actually. Let's bring up our pit board and have a little look here. You see we still got 11 guys on the track out here, or more, that haven't pitted. Jackson going to file in right in front of our race leader. Reiner now up 14.
Yeah, I was watching some of the lap times of the guys that have pitted. I think that's going to help them jump their competitors. And I really am wondering, in the top 5, as you see, Rachel is still climbing through the field. She's having a pretty good run tonight. Who else is going to take the gamble to try to win the race?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you got to try something, right? We talk about it, Adam. Do something different out there. I mean, this league notorious for late pitting, and that's great and all. Maybe it is the best strategy, but I'm telling you right now, if that's what everybody's doing, I'm coming in 10 laps earlier than everybody.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, but right now, I do like the 2-pit strategy to gain time, because, on that next stop, you won't have to take as much fuel as these guys that are staying out there. So that's even less time that you're on and off pit road, as we have another car coming into pit road right
Travis came in from third. We got a battle for the race lead. Side by side, Reiner low and up high, the big dog, Greg Ratliff. Ratliff taking that preferred line, and Reiner just can't get it done down on the bottom. I love this by the 5 to get out here, take the high line, and make them work, because you don't want them really passing you before pit stops, do you?
And Big Dog did the same exact thing that I did Sunday night. As you see, Reiner's trying to float it in there to try to get that little bit of air on the nose, but Ratliff did a good job right there on getting off the exit.
This is one of his better races of the year. I love it. Bruce on pit road. You see him almost locking him up there, trying to get her down to speed. Great battle brewing up front. Some of the other guys that are still on the track, you got Claus Williams in 4th, Jason Spear in 5th, and Spear always a threat to go to the halfway mark. I think he might be able to do it here.
Watching his lap times, I think him and maybe Dibble and maybe even one of the Ashleys were about the only guys I could see lap time wise that might be able to pull it off, as here we go for a pass for the lead.
Yeah, he really threw it in there. Couldn't quite get it. The 5 surging back on the outside. What an attempt by Reiner. Can he get it done here? He's going to try and almost slide job him. No, he isn't. He backs her down. So Ratliff will hold him off.
Well, that clean air, you saw how close he was to almost making that pass. As, got a little bit loose on the entry right there.
Yeah, that'll cost him a little bit. He'll have to reset and regather. Claus Williams on pit road.
Yeah, and especially with this car, unlike the Xfinity car, this car, if you dictate that air, you're really going to cause that guy behind you a handful in trying to pass him.
Tom Ashley hits pit road. There goes our race leader, now extending a little bit over Reiner as Reiner has to regroup.
But I do like what Reiner's doing. He doing the same thing I did Sunday night and what he did Sunday night. That lip pays dividends just to get down on that speed. And you saw how he just pulled right up on Big Dog's bumper.
Yeah, you can almost see him thinking, how do I plan this out? Where do I start the pass? Where do I want to finish the pass? I mean, you really got to work it all out, don't you?
Oh, absolutely.
He tags the wall again. He's still tail slapping that wall up there. Will that cause damage at all, Adam?
In these cars, not so much as the other stuff, because these are built like a tank. But I think he'll be all right for a while, as long as he's only just giving it butterfly kisses.
All right. Lap 75 of 175. Greg Ratliff leading Bryce Reiner, waiting for our leaders to come on to pit road here. The Toad Man with fresher tires right in the mix, but still letting them go or fighting them, I'm not sure.
He's unlapping himself. The Toad Man went to pit road, and this is what I like about this. These two guys are falling even further behind those guys that pitted. And that's why I'm kind of liking this 2-tire stop deal tonight.
Little slip of the tongue from the Bulldog there, I'm sure. I don't think you want 2 tires here, Adam.
Oh, shoot.
2 stops, I'm sure we all know.
I was sitting there looking at Bryce's 2 tires up there on the wall. I'm thinking, 2 tires, let's rip it.
I mean, I want to see someone take 2 tires. That would be awesome. Great battle up front. Third, Tony Ratliff, the Rifleman, doing a nice job. He's still out on the track. Spear's still out here. Dibble now into 5th. The Toad Man has worked his way to 6th with his early stop, so love the strategy by the Toad Man and probably Dibble as well. I'm not sure. We'll have to bring up our pit board here.
Yeah, and Herb Ashley just came down for his pit stop.
The Whataburger machine down on pit road. You see Fleming sitting in there. I don't know if he's in for his second stop or if that's a retirement. I'm not too sure.
Every time I see Ashley's car, I think of Mike McMillan.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, indeed. Always running the burger. I can't remember which one, Adam.
The Smash Burger.
Smash Burger, of course. Yes. Yeah, if you're listening out there, Mike, we miss you over there. Mike used to be around quite often. Took a little break from iRacing. Yeah, sometimes that's called for, isn't it, Adam?
Oh, absolutely. I think Fleming had a little bit of damage. He took a little bit longer on that pit stop. Took 4 tires. See what he can do now.
That is a beautiful car. The old Skull Bandit. One of my favorites. Harry Gant. I used to love him. I'm old, Adam.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Well, we're still young at heart because we all love racing.
Okay. I mean, I'll go with it. I don't know. Rachel Hunt coming around there, getting a lap back as well. We just seen Jason Jackson do the same. Rick Thompson battling with the Toad Man. He'll go through. That'll put Rick up to 6. I'm a little surprised that some of these guys staying out. It looks like they're going to the halfway mark. So our leaders trying to make it to at least lap 87, lap 88, and I think they will. This is something else. Reiner to the inside with a wiggle from the rear end. Side by side, they come down into the corner. Reiner throwing it in. Can't get there. He'll have to slow up, and around goes the big dog.
Oh, yeah. And then you have Bryce trying to get that run back off the corner. And just, I'm telling you, that air in these cars is just so important to get the air on the front nose. And we have Kulikowski come trying to unlap himself right now.
Well, this is where pit stops mean everything here, Adam. Who's better getting on and off pit road? I know you're very good at it. Who do you think out of these two is going to be the guy who wins the battle on pit road?
Love you, Greg, but I got to give that to Bryce because Bryce is usually spot on pit road as he really sends it into turn 1 right there.
Yeah, either he sent it in or Greg backed off a bit, but big run from Bryce here. He's trying everything. I know he wants to get to the high side, but I don't think Greg will ever give it to him.
Smart on him, and if you remember, Greg did something like that, very similar to me at our
Contact! Oh, little
that.
door banging. It's getting feisty out there.
Every time I see somebody door banging like that, I think of Scott Olson.
That is not fair to Scott Olson, but I love Scott for sure. The potato head paints always, they're what is it? They're free and they always will be. I'm so sorry, Scott. Potato head paints, we love them. Here comes Claus Williams looking to get his lap back. Absolutely flying. You can see the tire difference here. Times right now, Greg Ratliff at 27.33. I mean, fast guys out here right now, 24.86 for.
Bryce got by finally.
And I missed it looking at times. Wow, Bryce Reiner to the
Bryce
lead.
had a heck of a run in 3D.
My goodness, we got to go back and look at this. Here we go, a mammoth run off the corner. Holy cow. And he slides it in underneath, behind Claus Williams, and he played it there. He was a little softer on entry. The 5 got stuck up high.
Oh,
and
here comes Big Dog to pit road, Dean, followed by Spear.
All right, Greg Ratliff in on lap 88. Jason Spear as well. Bryce Reiner leading. Tony Ratliff now into second. There is Tony, and he is right there. How about Tony Ratliff? He's less than a half a second behind, and now into pit road goes Reiner. So Tony Ratliff taking the lead, and he was right in the thick of this thing. Were we sleeping on the Rifleman?
Oh, no, I've been keeping my eye on him. He's been real consistent with his lap times and whatnot, and he was in that group with Jason Jackson and them right behind the first 5 guys with Paul K and whatnot. And Tony was just taking his time, but here he comes to pit road, Dean.
All right, the rifleman is in. Nice and gently in there. Travis will reassume the lead. So the 88, we'll check our pit board here. He was in on lap 66. I don't think there's any way he can make it to the end, so a two-stopper for him. He's in first. Rick Thompson, also a lap 60. He got some track position. Then Bruce on 68. And Jackson on 61. So all these guys on two stoppers. I mean, you still like a two-stopper versus a one-stopper here?
Well, I do, and here's why. Look at where Rick Thompson is. Rick Thompson maintained his tires and stuff. Quiet back 5th, 6th. He's in second place right now, Dean.
Right now he is, yeah. Well, we'll see how it all plays out. Right now, Reiner and he is out in front of Ratliff off pit road. Very close together, these guys. They are a lap down currently. They're going by 4th place Jackson, trying to unlap themselves.
Yeah, because these guys, and I'll tell you, that was a heck of a pit stop. I knew it was going to be. Look who got out in front of the big dog. Batman himself.
Well, he had already passed him on the track, right? But yeah, both of them had great stops.
Yeah, they really did. I tell you, one of the fastest ones I was looking at was actually Bruce. Darren Bruce had a hell of a pit stop.
Well, Bruce, we do talk about his pit stops a lot. One of the best at it. You are as well, Adam. Bruce now in 3rd.
The only thing that could burn Big Dog and Reiner right now is a caution. If a caution were to come out right now, they would be burned badly.
Well, let's go back to that battle. There's Reiner. So Reiner now separating from Greg. Greg may be trying to save a little bit.
But I'll tell you why. Another reason why I like what they did. Look where Jason Jackson is right now. He's in 4th place. This is what wins you championships, is great strategy.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jackson's done everything right this season. You know, he's been patient. He's kept the car clean. That's the key. He's finished every race, I think, and probably been around the top 5 in each and every race. He's looking to do that again here tonight, Adam.
Yeah, he's doing a heck of a job. I mean, it's a pretty gut. Like I said, I like the move. And, you know, Barron and you both like pitting early. And that's why I said I thought you could shake it up if you pitted early tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I like doing stuff different. We got all kinds of different strategies out on the track. And you know what else we got? Our new fastest lap of the race. It's the Toad Man, Todd Gilly. How about that?
Yeah, Toad he was having a good night. He just put on some more feel goods not too long ago. And then you see that Bryce is trying to catch Rachel for that lucky dog if something were to happen. He's trying to get past Paul K to unlap himself as well.
Yeah, Bryce going to make that move. So right by Rachel, right by the leader. He will unlap himself. Now Greg Ratliff will try and do the same. Travis leading. Bruce in second, 4 seconds back. You got Rick Thompson right there in 3rd. Then Jackson. Claus Williams in 3rd. Tom Ashley another 6 seconds back. And then it's Reiner, 7 more back. And he's coming. He's running 24.77 last time by. Almost a second faster than our leader.
But he's got 24 seconds he has to make up. And he has to keep those feel goods on for the rest of the race.
That is correct.
If he goes on that current strategy.
So a pit stop coming, say for Paul Travis, right? Now, when does he pit? Does he short pit that last one? Does he wait till 40 to go? What does he do here, Adam?
Oh, the world is his right now. He can pit anytime he wants. Because the one that has to save the tire right now is Big Dog and Batman. That's the only way that they can win this race. So if it was me, yeah, I'd split the difference, come down at 40 laps to go. That way I can get everything I can out them tires.
You know, Adam, you did something unfortunate there. You said the world is yours, and you made me picture Paul Travis Sr. in a hot tub with bubbles and champagne. It's something you should never have in your head.
Well, you know, Brantley might join them.
That's true.
You know, them two guys are crazy.
They absolutely are. Of course, they had that great outing out at Charlotte. Everybody loved that one. And it was great. Great community here at RGR. You see that Fleming car. He's in 16th. Not his night, but he looks good out there. You know, they got a good-looking car. He just had a couple of mistakes, so really not in this one here tonight. Kulikowski also.
He had a little bit of rough pit stop and hit the wall once, but still a pretty car to look at. Nonetheless to say, right?
Yeah. I want to make some jokes, but I want to be nice too. There is George Devil back in 14th. You got Herb Ashley right in front of him, so those two battling for 13th. I mean, these guys still battling. There's a lot of points battles going on, Adam, besides just for the championship. So those guys, you know, are racing for pride, and they're still racing hard.
Yeah, and like I said, I like the gutsy moves by, you know, Paul K., Bruce, Thompson, Jackson, Claus, and even Tom Ashley, because now you got some wiggle room, and and I'm looking at how many laps it's taking Bryce to knock off time, and pretty soon you're going to be at that 40 lap mark.
Yeah, I mean, they click off in a hurry here, so I mean, I don't know if the time's going to work out. These guys that are on the two-stop strategy, they're going to come in, get freshies. They're going to be about close to a second faster than the guys who assume the lead. Can they run them down? You still think so, Adam? Adam's silent on the matter right now. We look in on Rick Thompson. He's right there behind Darren Bruce. So Thompson having another good night.
My calculator smoking. I'm doing the math.
Are you trying to use my abacus?
Yes, I am.
Jackson currently in 4th. He's doing everything he can here to hold on to his points lead. That battle between Reiner and Greg Ratliff still going. Reiner out front, Ratliff about 1.7 seconds back. We look at the lap times. It looks like Greg Ratliff, they matched identical times last time around. Holy cow.
Yeah, I see that the urgency, I think, is picked up just a little bit.
I'm sure.
And I just heard over the iRacing chat, Brantley is talking to Pork Chop right now, telling him to chill out, take your time, get ready for a pit stop.
Well, good advice for sure. Paul Travis, your race leader, got a 4.4 second lead here. He's got to calculate what the best strategy is to get onto pit road. When do you want those tires? How many laps can you run at a good clip to run them down?
Well, right now, what I've done the math, since Batman pitted up to right now, he unlapped himself, and it has taken about 7.5 seconds to do 12 laps. So he is making a little bit of time, but I'm telling you, you got to use this same kind of math going backwards for Paul K. Darren, Rick Thompson, Jackson, and Claus. When the shoe's on the other foot, if they're driving at that same pace, I think those guys can pull it off, Dean. I really do.
I mean, it reminds me of those memes out there with all the formulas showing up and stuff. It's too much for me, Adam. I'm Canadian. I can only do so much. You want me to calculate from kilometers to miles, too? I'm getting confused, Adam. Gotta add a tariff in? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, gotta add the tariff in.
Right now, Claus Williams in 5th, starting to creep up on Jason Jackson. He gets a big run off the high side. Can he do something with it? Williams loves the high side. Oh, and now he's in the wall. He's not loving it right now, but he holds on to it. And that's exactly what can happen to you here. Good thing he didn't wreck, but you can easily hit that piece of the wall and wreck, can't you, Adam?
Yeah, absolutely.
Stay with this battle for now. Of course, Reiner closing in on these two. He is 3 seconds back of Claus Williams right now. And again, Claus with a little touch of the wall on entry there. Throws him off kilter.
Yeah, he's cut it down to 11 seconds right now. I guess Greg is trying to pace himself maybe to do what Bryce does against everybody else. He's saving a little bit of tire.
Yeah, is he going to out-brace Bryce? It's possible.
That is very possible.
Here comes Dibble into this picture. Williams goes underneath Jackson, so Williams looking for 4th here. Jackson probably not going to put up much of a fight, and he will. Ooh, that's tight, folks, and here comes Dibble as well. So Williams takes the spot. Stay right here while Dibble thinks with fresher tires he's got to try and get through. And Reiner comes up on this. This is the trouble, isn't it? He's got to work his way through traffic now.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I've noticed, you saw that Darren Bruce got around Rick Thompson for 2nd place, but Darren isn't really making up any time on Pork Chop. He's, I think he's taking Brantley's advice, Dean, which is really good to see.
Well, yeah, Bruce is not, and I think the credit goes to Paul Travis and some of the guys we've seen on Sunday burn their stuff up a little bit. They haven't done that here tonight. They're really looking good. So Travis still leading. The 88 out front has to pit. The big decision coming. He's opened up to 5 seconds. Here comes Thompson. He's in.
Yeah, you're within the 50-lap window. I think you have to come within the next 10 laps.
So Reiner moving up to 3rd. He's still over 11 seconds back. Thompson's going to fall way back. I don't know if he can make up that kind of time. Looking at Greg Ratliff here. Here comes Claus Williams. He's on pit road. Right behind him, Jackson, your points leader. Jackson, a little more aggressive on entry there. Makes up a few car lengths.
Yeah, I think Paul K and Darren have to pit. Pork Chop and Darren have to pit real soon.
Yeah, we're coming up on 50 to go here in a few laps, so that's probably the marker they're thinking. Bryce Reiner is in 3rd. He would assume the lead. Greg Ratliff, 1.7 back. He's been there for some time. They've been matching lap times, basically. Spear back here. Now, Spear also does not have to stop, and he is currently, will be 3rd when the top 2 pit. And then Tony Ratliff, he is currently in 6th. Let's see Tony's situation. He last pitted on lap 89. So interesting all around We don't know how this is going to play out quite yet. Bruce is on pit road.
Yeah, and Claus Williams just getting his lap back, and I think Pork Chop's coming. Yep, Pork Chop's coming in pit road.
All right, Paul K in. Pretty solid looking there. Nice stable braking. So Travis with a good entry. That's going to hand it over to Bryce Reiner, the 87, now out front. Travis still creeping around pit road. Hunt comes in. So Rachel will relinquish 7th and come on to pit road.
Now it's all going to be all about just who can get on the track off pit road. Paul looks like he got off real good. Now you got to maintain what you got and go catch that leader.
Yeah, you got to go like crazy. He's going to be over 30 seconds back with under 50 to go. Adam, is that possible?
Absolutely. Absolutely possible. And he came out in front of Thompson, which that shows you how aggressive Pork Chop got on the pit road and got off. It was an excellent pit stop.
All right, optimism from the Bulldog here. How about Jason Spear? Haven't got him a lot of airtime. Played his strategy well. Has been running good all night long. He's now in 3rd place, and he looks like he's pretty solid out here.
Yeah, him and Rifleman. I mean, Rifleman. Tony. They have done their strategy to a T. They both had really clean, consistent races tonight.
Yeah, he is the Rifleman. I don't know what to laugh for. I mean, I love that name. But Spear got by him there, and that was very interesting to me that Spear all of a sudden surging here late in the race. Paul Travis just set the fastest lap of the race at 23.97, or at least his fastest lap. Yeah, only lap in the 23s. How about that, Adam?
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing, man. I really
Okay,
do.
all right. So Adam still thinks this could be a winning strategy, and maybe it will be. Lead down to 28 seconds. Paul down underneath of the big dog Greg Ratliff, so almost unlapping himself here. He's just got to get by Reiner. There Reiner is.
Yeah, I'm loving this strategy because now he's 20 seconds back. Well, Toadman's 20 seconds. Let's see, where is old Pork Chop? Pork Chop's digging. I think he's got the time to do it, Dean. It's got 45 laps to go.
Here he comes underneath a Reiner with a head of steam, so Paul Travis through. Now on the lead lap, he's literally got to make up a whole lap here in the next 43 laps. Currently running about a second and a half, just under that, faster than the race leader.
I think if he takes care of his car and doesn't push it too much, I think it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. It's piqued my interest. Not sure how it's going to play out on the long run quite yet, but Travis doing everything he can. Don't forget, you got others. Rick Thompson, 2-3 seconds back. Then we got smoke on pit road, too. It scared me a little bit there. Darren Bruce right behind Rick Thompson. So these guys all out here trying to hunt. There goes Thompson. Oh, and Reiner in the wall. A little unstable, but he holds on to it.
Well, see, now all that dirty air that Reiner had to not deal with when he got his freshies, he's got to deal with it now because these guys are on the freshies.
Yeah,
That's why I like different aspects of this.
Well, absolutely, Adam. I mean, he's going to have to deal with constantly people coming and passing him and disrupting his line, isn't he?
Oh, absolutely. But the one thing I did notice, and I like what Bryce Batman did on this, he extended the lead on Greg. Kind of like what I did. I tried to keep a decent lead and then drive away. And I think Bryce Batman Reiner is doing exactly that, just in case he has to fend off those guys coming.
I mean, I think Bryce might be overdriving that machine. I don't think I've ever said that. The 87 out front now 3.4 seconds ahead of Greg Ratliff. Jason Spear in third. He's another 10 seconds back, and he's got Tony Ratliff right behind him in fourth place. Paul Travis already coming. Holy cow. He's down to 18.8 seconds from the leader and only 4 seconds to fourth place.
I think he's got to just take it a little bit easier on this stuff, because you still got to pass the man up front. That's the only thing.
We go on board with Paul Travis. He comes up on the Whataburger machine. He'll come underneath and get that done. Hug the bottom. So Travis continuing to march forward. Now 17 and a half.
Yeah, he's ripping some laps, Dean. He is ripping some laps. But then, he's got to be smart on how he gets around the rifleman and spear chucker. He has to. If he can do that quickly and efficiently, that's all that much more motivation and speed that he's going to have in his car to go run the top two down.
Well, I think these guys will really just kind of give it to Paul. I mean, I don't see any reason to fight him. He's that much faster. And I think also he's probably a favorite around the garage. I mean, everybody would love to see Paul Travis win a race here.
Absolutely, because I can't wait for him to feed us.
There you go. Parties all week at Paul Travis's house. So he gets by Ratliff, no problem. Now next up, Jason Spear. 33 laps remaining at the line for Bryce Reiner. So he gets by Spear, no problem, into third. So Paul Travis with this strategy, regardless of the outcome, pretty good strategy, much better than I anticipated. Again, Adam Newton, correct, at least looking to be correct. Tom Ashley, pit road.
Just looking at what I was trying to calculate, with the amount of laps that Bryce made on time and how much, and he just knocked another second off. Paul has got the time. He's just got to drive smart. That's the whole thing. If he drives smart, he should win this race.
All right, now 13.2 seconds back. Lap time starting to come together, though. He's close to 25-second lap. Reiner, 25.5. You better get that abacus out again.
Well, Paul ran a 24.8 that last lap. So there's still some time being made up.
Oh, yeah. That time almost a second, around 0.8, 0.9 seconds gained. So Travis still doing a good job, maybe dependent on traffic a little bit.
Yeah, he's, like I said, if he burn him up too much trying to make that, he might be in a little trouble. But if he maintains his pace and runs consistent, depending on how much Bryce burn up his tires, he should be there.
What a compelling storyline happening here. Paul Travis, early on, pole sitter, got out to a nice little lead, looked like he was faltering, looked like he was burning him up, but then surged back and, maintained in that second hole or somewhere in that area, did a great job, short pitted, made it a two-stop strategy, and now under 11 seconds to the race lead. Fastest lap, Tom Ashley right there in front of him, just laid it down.
Yeah, he had a real smoker right there. But Bryce is doing everything he can to make up points. I'll give him an attaboy for that. I just would like to see Jason Jackson push a little bit harder right now.
Jackson content right now in 8th place.
And Gillies had a pretty good comeback after that slow pit stop he had. He's back in 10th place right now, trying to make his way back up to Bryce to get his lap back.
You know, the Toadmans look very, very comfortable here tonight. He's in 10th, looking good, and he is running 26.5s right now. So, or that last lap anyway, might have been interrupted. Here he ran a 25.8. That's a little better, a little faster than the big dog actually. So Greg's struggling to keep up this time. He's dropped to about 5 seconds back of Bryce Reiner.
Yeah, that next little race we got going on is 6th and 7th place. Tony, the Rifleman, Ratliff, reeling in Spear Trucker just slightly. He's been clicking off some pretty good laps here in the last 6 laps.
I mean, the both of them have been really together for quite a while now. Spear just a little bit better here, a little bit smoother. He's in 6th.
Yeah, it's been a good race for both of them, though. Very clean, and that's what they need for the points, because they were in that real close, tight points battle for the top 10.
Yeah, bragging rights. You need them. You want 'em.
Absolutely.
Right now, Bryce Reiner, 24 to go. His lead down to 8.3 and coming down.
Yeah, Bryce is running a 25.8 right now, and he's still making up time, but he's just got to get around these guys. And now he's got a couple guys on fresh tires coming around Pork Chop right now, so he's got to make quick pace of Big Dog right now if he wants a shot at Bryce, Batman.
He does. 22 to go. Down to about 7.5 seconds is the lead. Into the wall goes the 88. That's no harm there. We've seen Bryce do that many times. Last lap, though, only gained about a 10th. That was due to traffic. He's got to pick that up. I mean, 7 seconds, he's got to pick up, at least 4/10 a lap here.
He rebounded real nicely on that lap. He ran a 2:29. Yeah, he's got to get around Ratliff real quick. Big Dog has got to try to hold him off, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to.
Yeah, honestly, I think he'd probably let him go, but I don't know. When you're talking second place, you got every right to fight for every spot. Travis down low, up high, Ratliff, he's going to hold him off. So Ratliff fights for it, or no? Does he give it to him? I don't know, but
gave it to him.
Travis took it anyway. You look at it.
Yeah, he's got to get back on the horse now. Pork Chop's got to ride if he's going to go catch him.
19 to go. Paul Travis into second. What a story developing here. A 2-stopper possibly beating a 1-stopper. Unheard of. I tell everybody it's got to be a 3-stopper beating a 2-stopper. You can't do a 2-stopper versus a 1. Am I going to be made a liar here this evening?
I'll tell you, somebody else is making a heck of a race right now. Darren and Rick Thompson are catching Big Dog slowly but surely. This could get interesting for those guys in the next, 15, 16 laps. Oh, Pork Chop just got loose and boat wrecked, Dean.
Wow, chased down the track. So Travis holds on to it, but it cost him some time. He can't afford any more mistakes. Yeah, Rick Thompson back there in fourth, up 4 spots. Another good race for him. You can add him to the list of tough drivers in this league, Adam.
Yeah, I'd definitely say he's a very competitive driver. Clean, fast. He certainly had a good run tonight.
Right behind him, Bruce hanging in there in the top 5. Spear has fallen to 6th right now. Jackson in 7th with that points lead. He's pretty content in this spot, I think. He would love to see Paul Travis get up there and take this win away. Here comes Claus Williams looking to take a spot from Jason Jackson.
Yeah, I figured out the name for old Darren, the Warden.
The Warden, I like it.
Yep, the Warden is coming for you.
Don't mess up. He'll throw you in jail, folks.
Paul just knocked off about 4.5 tips that last lap, Dean.
All right, Travis still closing. 14 to go. We're still looking at this battle between Williams and Jackson.
Yeah, Tony's then slipped a little bit. Claus and Jackson got around them not too long ago, and Spears actually going to end up probably falling in the crosshairs of Jackson and whatnot, and Toadman just hit the wall in 3.
Well, what do you think's happened here? I've noticed a couple of guys vastly different, in the first run to the second run. What's the difference? I mean, is it all keyed in, say, your first 20 laps of a run?
That and the temperature. The track temperature has definitely changed, but the wind is still up as well. But that track temp is definitely really hindering some of the guys from where they were early in the race, which changes the track driving wise. Remember Sunday night, we went through a spell where it actually got really super cloudy and the car just completely changed. And I see that Pork Chop is trying to get his car in the shady areas to get that grip. And I think that's the key right now.
Wow. Big tips coming from the Bulldog there. Trying to get under a tree, avoid the sunshine a little bit. So Travis now 4.6 back of Reiner. Reiner last time by at 26.1 to Paul Travis's 25.6, so 5/10 that lap. He's just got to be consistent. He can get there. He's running out of time, though.
If he makes a mistake, it's over. He can't do what and I think that little hiccup he had on the backstretch, that really hurt him. See if he can keep doing it. He knocked another 2 tenths off, Dean.
Like, you talk about these different runs. How about Greg Ratliff? Rick Thompson just went by, took 3rd. Bruce going by to take 4th away. So Greg, who was so dominant early, I mean, just track temp, you think, can really change a guy's driving that much?
Oh, absolutely, and it has. I'm seeing some of those guys are definitely lifting at completely different points than where they were that first run.
Just shocking to see the difference for me. Bruce and Thompson fighting for that podium spot right now. Travis still trying to run him down. He's now down to 3.77 seconds.
He can smell that gasoline coming off of Batman's car.
8 laps to go for Bryce Reiner. Let's get a look in on Reiner, see how he's driving. And he just disappeared, folks. That is not good. And he's back. So he's using the teleporter right now, Adam.
I'm telling you, he's pulling out all the stops.
It really is. Down to 3.2. There's Travis. Now almost in the same screenshot. Travis trying everything. 7 to go.
Just hope when Rachel's got some feel goods. So I don't know if that's going to mess him up airwise or not. But she said big smile, so who cares, right?
That's right. That's right. Toadman coming in late from this race. What in tarnation with 6 to go, the Toad Man on pit road. Under 3 seconds, 6 to go. Travis still trying everything he can.
I think he'll be close, but yeah, I don't know if he's going to make. I think that backstretch deal probably killed the race for him.
Well, he's pushed that machine awful hard here, so it's now starting to go away a little bit. Rachel Hunt down low, maybe affecting his line a little bit too. So Hunt getting her nose in there. That's very interesting.
Yeah, that air, man, is everything.
Rachel, maybe she heard us. She's backing out. I mean, she's not doing anything wrong whatsoever. That's just part of racing. Sometimes you have to deal with cars around you, and, you know, it's going to affect your line a little bit. Right now, Reiner doing so good. 2.3 ahead, 3 to go. You'd have to have a mistake at this point.
I don't think he can make up that kind of time. But we got a heck of a race going on for 6th, 7th, and 8th place right now. Those guys are literally on top of each other.
All right, Spear in 6th. Jackson right there in 7th. Claus Williams on the high side in 8th. Williams up there wrapping the wall, trying to take that spot from Jackson. These are important points for Jason Jackson. It looks like he's going to lose that point. And maybe not, though. What a fight you got going on. Final lap, Bryce Reiner taking the white flag. Travis 1.7 back. He's not going to be able to get there. Back to that battle. There's Spear holding off Jackson and Williams. Looks like they've got that settled. Bryce Reiner down into the corner. The 87 comes right by the rock sign. Bryce Reiner gonna be the winner here at the Rock. Paul Travis just 1.5 seconds behind. Then Thompson in 3rd, Bruce 4th, the big dog in 5th.
Yeah, I was looking at this, and literally, Dean, that mess up that he had on that backstretch is what cost him the race.
Well, I mean, yes, I mean, obviously you can attribute it to any mistake that he made during the race, but what an effort, Adam. Come on. I mean, 2 stops.
Oh, no.
Almost running down Reiner. It was so impressive.
Definitely not taking anything away from him. I'm just looking at that lap when that happened. It was a little over 1.5 seconds slower.
Well, those are the things that stick in racers' minds, right? He'll be thinking about that later tonight. Reiner burning them down here with another victory. I mean, what else can you say about Bryce Reiner? Man, he's tough. I mean, you got him on Sunday, Adam, but it wasn't easy, was it?
No, it wasn't easy, and that's great redemption for him. You know, after I took the win away from him on Sunday night. And I know he's running that, you know, doing that for his friend and whatnot. So it's good to see old Batman get his dub.
It actually is really good to see. Let's take a short commercial break. We'll come back and we'll talk to these guys and see what they think about it all. Back here at Rockingham, what a race we had. Reiner on a 1-stopper, holding off Travis on a 2-stopper. Thrilling event here, Adam. I mean, loved having you in the booth, but I bet you wish you were on the track tonight.
Yeah, it's always fun to race this track, and I love Rockingham. But no, I enjoyed calling the shots with you up here in the booth tonight. It was fun.
All right, we look in on the race results. We called out our top five. Jason Spear, awesome sixth place finish. Jackson does hold off Williams for seventh, so Williams in eighth. Tony Ratliff ninth. Rachel Hunt with the top 10 here this evening. It's Tom Ashley, George Dibble, Herb Ashley, Kulikowski, and Gilly in the top 15. And a couple of heartaches, like Brantley out there. I don't think Valley even got started tonight. Rockingham, man, it can bite you.
Oh, absolutely, man. And after looking at these finishing results, we will be having some people move. That order definitely shifted tonight.
Yeah, big implications in the standings. Reiner did everything he had to do. He's going to close that gap to Jason Jackson. So, watch out with 2 races to go, Adam. I mean, it's going to heat up, isn't it?
Yeah, oh, especially on what he did tonight. He had max points, most cars passed. Then he had the laps led. I mean, he just clicked off everything. Clean race. I mean, and that's what you got to do to win the championship.
Yeah, he did it all. He's in that spot. Another guy who had a great evening again. It's been solid this whole time at RGR. The 76, Rick Thompson, up 5 spots, finishing third here this evening. Congratulations, Rick.
Thanks, Dean. I appreciate it.
Man, oh man, the Rock. I mean, you must be exhausted. This is a tough track. Demands your full attention, doesn't it, Rick?
Oh man, my arms feel like jelly right now. I'm sweating in my seat. It was a tough race the whole damn thing through. I mean, the whole dang thing through. Sorry, and yeah, it was a tough race from start to finish. You had to manage your tires and everybody on different strategies and everything. It was definitely a tough one, toughest one I've done so far.
Well, talk a little bit about the strategy. I mean, we had, Adam up here in the booth trying to run the abacus and do the math, and, very, very difficult to figure out how this was going to play out. Rick, tell us about your decision. Two-stopper, I believe, for you, Rick.
Yeah, I was wearing out the tires, so this track eats them up so bad that you could do it on one stop, but by the end of that first stop, you really had to manage your tires through the whole thing, and you were going to really be slow for those last like 20, 30 laps. And so I just decided to make it a little bit shorter stop and make it a two-stopper and hope that the speed from having the new tires would make up the difference. And it almost worked. I think Paul was on the same strategy as I was, but Bryce was on, I think it was on the one stop, but he just did a dang good job of managing his tires. I don't know how he managed to keep it up there so long up there like that, especially on that last run.
Yeah, well, speaking of tires, the first run, you could see how difficult it was out there on even tires for guys to pass each other. That's just part of here at Rockingham and a decision to do a two-stopper. It's not just that you think it's faster, it's the whole passing people. You need a difference in tires to get it done, don't you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. At the end there, I mean, I think Darren was trying to pass me right the last few laps, and if you had the top line, it was just so hard to pass on the bottom with old tires like that. So I just knew if I could just hold him down to the bottom that I had a decent shot at holding down the third place from him. And but yeah, the older the tires get, the more worn out that right front gets, and it's just so difficult to get around people because the car just wants to slide straight up the track.
Well, Rick, I don't want to call you out on the older thing, but as we get older, I'm much older myself. And, a place like this, we can hear it in your voice. Like, so demanding out there. Like, how do you keep your focus? I mean, you're always one bump, one mistake from hitting that exit wall and ending your night.
Yeah, it was, like I said, it was a tough one. I mean, this is probably the toughest race I've done in this league so far, and it definitely required a lot of concentration and strength on the wheel with the force feedback, because man, these bumps were just throwing the car all over the place, and like you said, you just hit the wrong one way, and it was going to send you for a ride. So just glad I was able to come out clean and keep the car in one piece and get a decent finish.
Well, I tell you, people, if you think sim racing isn't some kind of physical thing, think again. You can hear it, Rick, exhausted. What a job! What a job you've done since you got here, Rick. Really happy to have you as an addition to RGR Racing League here in this Gen 6 series. Congrats on this third place finish. Another podium for you, man. And we'll turn over the mic to you. You shout out any sponsors, friends, whatever you want.
I appreciate it, Dean. No, I just, once again, I know I keep saying it, but I just am really thankful for these guys letting me come out and race with them. I've had such a blast so far. And thank you guys for broadcasting. Always like going back and watching the broadcast. You guys do an excellent job. And thanks again for all the sponsors and league admins that make all this stuff happen. It's not an easy job to run a league, and I appreciate the professionalism that they do it with. So thank you guys.
All right, Adam. That's Rick Thompson, the number 76, with a third place finish here at the Rock.
Yeah, I'm down here with the second place finisher, Pork Chop Travis. Man, you had a good car tonight. Tell us about your run, man.
Yeah, it was interesting. I felt good in the car. I just didn't want to burn it up early, and I let Darren by, and then I let, of course, I told Bryce to go by. I wasn't trying to hold anybody up. I wasn't trying to go real hard, but I just felt like the tire wear was extremely excessive, and I thought I was gonna go try to make it on one stop, and then about halfway through it got super, super tight, and I decided that it was probably best for me to pit and get it out of the way because I figured them guys was definitely gonna try to make it on one stop.
Yeah, I heard over the comms, sound like your partner in crime was giving you some tips to slow it down, take it easy, and make your way back through there. Did you think you had a shot at trying to knock back Batman off the podium?
Truthfully, I didn't think I had a shot in hell, and I got to Greg, and he didn't hold me up at all, which was top-notch racing by him, and I got to where I could see him, and I'm like, I might be able to do this, and I'm driving for everything she had, and there wasn't much left on the tires, and looked up my mirror, seen Rachel. She was trying to poke in there, and I'm going, please, Rachel, please don't do this to me right now.
Yeah, I was pulling for you. I told Dean, I said, by looking at my math, the only thing that I saw that possibly had messed you up, and I bet you wish you could have this back when you got loose coming off of turn 2. Tell us about that when you went down there to the apron.
I actually smacked the wall a little bit, and I was trying to save it. It scared the living shit out of me. Pardon my French. Sorry, hopefully ain't no little kids listening. But gained it back up, and I didn't lose too much, and I was able to, gather it up and close back in on Greg and them. And later on in the run, when I was trying to make that run back to the front to catch them guys, Herb kind of came in there on the fresh tires, and I got a little nervous, and I kind of really backed off, and I lost quite a bit of time there. But all in all, it was great. I love racing with Greg and with Bryce. God, if I could have beat him, that would have made my night. Not only to get my first win, but to beat Bryce. That guy is amazing.
Yeah, I was pulling for you. I thought you had a run at him and whatnot, and I was telling Dean that and the listeners. But you want to give anybody shout outs for your good run tonight and friends and family? Tell them hello.
I do. I want to give my nephew George is out tuna fishing in OBX this week, so he didn't make it, but I'm sure he's watching. I got to thank East Coast Web Printers. Them guys are amazing to do what they do for us week in, week out. And Jason Brantley on the radio, keeping my candy ass under control back here. And of course, all my teammates, Corey and Claus and JB and George, you guys are all amazing. This league is amazing. Dean and Wind Tunnel TV is amazing. All you guys are awesome.
Well, I appreciate it, and that's your second place finisher, Dean. I hear you got that winner down there tonight.
Well, big shout out to Paul Travis. What an effort he put forth trying to run down tonight's winner, the 87. Bryce Ryder held him off. Bryce, wow, congratulations, man.
Thank you, Dean. Man, what a show, and I'm exhausted.
You know, I know you know racing. A two-stopper just can't beat a one-stopper. Or can it, Bryce?
Oh, it can.
I mean,
I uh I was holding on for dear life there at the end. I car literally did not turn, and I don't know, it was tough. Getting to about lap, I don't know, whenever they pit, lap 60, I think, or right around there. Um, I didn't even realize we can make it on one stop. I didn't know it was a two stopper. So when I finally decided, which stop would be better, I was already battling Greg, and I was just kind of following him and seeing what he was doing. And I guess I chose the one stopper, and I was able to hold them off.
well, let's go to that battle with Greg. That was quite a battle. At the end of the first run, you're there for, I don't know, maybe 20 laps or something, Bryce, and you're trying everything. And I'm there with you. I'm thinking, how is he going to set this up? And we've seen, really, it looked like you narrowed it down to, I've got to get him on entry and almost slide job him, but you just couldn't complete it. And, you're not going to run into him, so you had to keep checking up. How was it that you eventually got it done?
Oh, I don't even remember, to be honest. It was such a uh white fog in my brain at this point, but
Well,
no,
that's the
I
rock,
I
isn't it, right, Bryce? I mean,
it
it just
sure is.
drains you. It drains you mentally and physically.
Yeah, I mean, me and him were battling for a while, and he wasn't gonna let me have the top. He knew that, and I probably knew that. So I was just trying to everything I could do to get a run off of two, to have a good, run down the backstretch. But the bumps on the inside of a car that's against the wall, those bumps are terrifying, and they're so gruesome in this Gen 6 car. It's very technical, and like I I barely was trying to get to 100% throttle with battling with Greg there. So super super tough to get around him, let alone try to side by side racing for 20 or so laps. But I try to dive it in there a couple times, but each and every time I would dive it in there, I could just see in the rear view mirror that Greg is pretty much already at the quarter panel, and he's gonna get to the gas super quick than I am. So each time I tried that, it just wouldn't work. So I would have to slam on the brake because I'm getting super tight. The car won't turn. I don't want to wreck Greg. I don't want to hit him. I mean, bumper, back and forth, little touching is fine, but then again, you're always afraid of that net code that can come into play
Well,
there. So I just wanted to keep it clean.
I mean, you obviously you had a little battle earlier in the week, same track with someone, the bulldog up here in the booth, and you're absolutely right. Contact is tough here, and the car reacts there. I want to talk about you with the contact with the wall, Brace. We've seen you hitting the wall quite a bit. Now, I'm not trying to imply anything bad about it. What I'm trying to say is that, well, I want to ask first is, was there any damage to the car? And second, do you know that when you're going into the corner? Because you got to play this high line diamond. I mean, a little touch of the wall, not necessarily a bad thing, is it?
No, not at all. And I hate scrubbing the wall. Each and every time I'm trying to make that diamond work, but every time I'm going into the braking zones, I want to make sure I get the most out of that straightaway and even the braking zones. But when you have to back up your entries so much because the Gen 6 is so much more powerful than the Xfinity car, it it honestly is really tough to even stop the car and let it settle and let it turn down. So if you don't let that happen, it'll kind of literally just go straight while you're trying to turn, if that makes sense. So, there was a lot of times I think I smacked the wall a little bit, but then it was able to direct me back down the track, which I don't like doing because that's kind of like an advantage. So I try to stay away from that. But
What was there any damage from it, Brace, at all on pit road?
yeah, there was not. There was none.
Oh,
I kept
very
checking.
interesting.
I kept checking my button to make sure I didn't have damage.
Well, that's what I was. Oh, that's right. You can do that. Yes. Yeah, I was just curious, trying to think of if that was something you were considering, whether it be damaged or not. But hey, Bryce, listen, you're a fantastic racer here. You put it all out there tonight, and Paul Travis. All things to be truthful, there we're almost rooting him on there. He was really trying. Might have burned it up a little bit trying to run you down. What a job you did on a one stopper to get up there, separate yourself from the rest of the guys, and hold him off. Congrats on another just awesome victory, man. And we'll give you the mic, brother. Anybody you want to shout out or thank, please do.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, it sure was a blast, and I was kind of rooting on Paul because I knew he had the pace to be up there, and with me on the one stopper, and I was on such a long stretch of those tires, I had a feeling he might catch me. But then, with the tire fall off and trying to conserve just a little bit, just in case he got there, that was my only hope, and just have our lap times somewhat, match each other for the last 20 laps. But he was quicker than me, about 4 tenths quicker every lap, and I would get a heater in and he would get a heater in. So he got close. I guess I just had a little extra speed in the car there towards the end, but um, great run by him and Rick as well. I mean, they did a heck of a job tonight. Almost ran me down, so I got to give props to them. And they did a phenomenal race tonight and zero cautions the entire race. So that was also very, very awesome. Want to shout out you guys up in the booth for putting us on the air and showing us family, friends, everybody who watches a place to sit down on a Thursday night and Sunday nights. Thanks to East Coast Flood Printing, JB, all of them guys over there for sponsoring the Gen 6, Alive Church, and Mike Brown for all that they do on the Xfinity and the league side as well. And then all the admins in the league and then Digital Sim Sports, Team Conti Sim Performance, Martin PC, everybody who helps me on the open side. And yeah, can't wait to get after the point battle with Jason.
Yeah,
Well, I
didn't
gotta tell you some news.
Oh,
You
what's that,
made up
Adam?
11 points on him tonight. It is a 10-point race for the championship.
That's going to be interesting and definitely gonna be exciting to watch. So I can't wait for that. I know JJ's pretty damn good racer, so we're gonna give it our all and hope Pocono is friendly to us.
But I got two questions. Did you miss me tonight? And how good did this feel for redemption from Sunday night?
Uh, Sunday
dig
still
into
kind
him,
of
Bryce.
stings
Dig into him.
just
I had to
because.
from your post. I had to.
No, you're good. No, it was definitely redemption from Sunday night, for sure. Sunday stung just a little bit more just because what happened the day before. So really wanted that one. But again, it was a hard fought battle between you and I. But yeah, took one out here tonight and trying to do what I can to win. And I did just that. And yeah, of course I missed you out here, but thank God you weren't.
Well, congratulations on your win tonight.
Appreciate you, Adam.
All right, that is Bryce Reiner, affectionately known as Batman, back in victory lane. Adam Newton trying to get a couple of digs in there late. We called the Bulldog there a little bit of a kryptonite, but I gotta say, Adam, all things being equal, I think Bryce gets his more than his fair share, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, man, and that's why I had to tell them about the points because it really they had four different drivers really move tonight in the points, and him being one of them. Tony Ratliff moved up a position. Paul K gained 2 positions. Jason Brantley went up, and Spear and Tom Ashley they're in it's 5 points separating the top 10 on that end of the spectrum. So this race really played big dividends tonight.
Yeah, it really set it up. 2 races to go. Pocono, one of my favorites. You know, Adam, I love that place, and I can't wait to see who else loves it. I mean, Jackson, he can't allow this to happen. 7th to 1st. If he does that 2 more times, Reiner would be champ. So Jackson's got work to do. I can't wait to see it, Adam.
Yeah, Jackson might have to pull the same thing as Bryce and not qualify and drive through the field. He's got to protect every point he can moving forward. It's going to be interesting to see what he does.
It is, and also we're going to have some interesting news. Stay tuned for that. RGR announcing things, we're announcing things, so can't wait to get that out there to the world. But for myself, Dean Doucette, for Adam the Bulldog Newton, that's going to wrap it up from Rockingham, and we'll see you right here next time on Wind Tunnel TV.